I could really be a billionaire for real. I didn't know about mechanical patents. The Weeknd, Chris Brown, Justin Bieber, athletes, tons of people just wearing the clothing. So we was really cooking with the clothes. It took me 6 months to close this one deal at 6K, but I just made 15K in like 10 minutes. When I talk about podcasting, I don't look at it as entertainment. I look at it as a tool that can be leveraged.
If you ever struggle with your content getting reach, you being able to monetize your podcast, growing your social, building your personal brand, this podcast is for you because we got the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Brendan Boyd. Mr. Podcast himself is going to show you how to start your podcast, how to monetize your podcast, and how to do all of this stuff. But before we get there, we're going to start with the backstory on how we got here. So who is Brendan Boyd, and when did you realize that you were an entrepreneur and you weren't going to go the traditional path?
Well, first off, thanks for having me, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, this is fire, right? This is really fire. Honestly, bro, I think like college. When I was in college, I just couldn't work for nobody. You know what I'm saying? I just couldn't. It was just something in me, and I can't work for no one.
Mm-hmm.
So the actual last job I had was I worked at Sprint. So Sprint PCS, I think they got bought out by Nextel.
Right.
I think Nextel also then got bought out. But I was working at Sprint when I was a senior at school. And then basically I had a vision to do like a basketball league, you know what I'm saying? So when in New York has like the Rucker League.
Rucker?
Yeah, in New York.
Yeah,
Basically
Rucker
like
Park.
Yep, so they got a men's league. And we didn't have nothing like that in Boston.
Mm-hmm.
So I took that inspiration. I was like, I want to bring that home to Boston because after like age 18, age 19,
Right.
there's no real men's league, you know what I'm saying, in the city. So I was like, all right, I just had a dream about it. I woke up and I just knew what to do.
Right.
I got sponsors. I started promoting, you know what I'm saying. I was already hooping anyway, so it wasn't hard for me to get players. So I wrote it out as a tournament, I think it was a 2-day tournament.
Right.
And that thing hit. Like all the teams was sold out. Couple of sponsors, nothing crazy. That was like my proof of concept.
Right.
Once that hit, I felt more confident I could do a league. So I launched a league with 12 teams, 12 sponsors,
Okay.
live DJ in the city, and it was like everybody, the whole scene was all out. So I did it for like 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like the first thing. And I applied to work at Reebok to be like a director of basketball because I had a basketball league. So
Right.
now I'm confident like I can do this director position.
Right.
But I didn't really understand the ins and outs. So long story short, I didn't get that. So I felt the weight of the being a little disappointed to not get that job. And I was like, man, I'm gonna just do my own thing. So it was just like the compound effect. And I already
Right.
had a little bit of success doing my
Okay.
own thing, starting this league. That's kind of how it started. I met another business partner, and then we created a clothing company,
Mm-hmm.
and we started rocking that for like 10 years, and that's when I really started seeing some success.
The clothing line?
Yeah, the clothing
Okay.
line started really cooking. I mean, we did a lot of stuff with that. We had like The Weeknd, Chris Brown, Justin Bieber, athletes, tons of people just wearing the clothing. We did a BMX collab, a Mountain Dew collab, a Pepsi collab. We had clothes in 8 different countries. We did a video game collab, so we was really cooking with the clothes. And we also took a big L, bro. Like, I could really be a billionaire for real. I didn't know about mechanical using a mechanical patent when it comes to clothing. And we actually created the jogger sweat, 2 black dudes in Boston. So if you know the jogger sweat, all the jogger sweat is like regular pair of sweatpants, but then at the bottom it has like ribbing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you can cover it, so it makes the sneakers
Lulu
pop.
got those now. I know those are hot. 'Cause
Every
that's pretty
single-
much all I wear
Bro,
now.
every single brand got them, from the most expensive brand
Yeah.
to like Walmart. You know what I'm saying?
And they
So-
hella comfortable because you can wear them casual or you can throw a little button up on it and kind of rip through that.
So we
too.
created that. Me and my business partner in Boston, 2 black dudes. But we didn't know nothing about mechanical patents. We didn't even roll it out. We just like, all right, this is gonna be one of the next sweatpants on the new season.
Right.
But the joint just hit, and we didn't protect our IP.
Right.
We didn't even know anything like that. That's why I always be talking about like, coaching, mentorship, just being well versed in what field you're in.
Right, because you don't know what you don't know,
Bro,
right?
if we would have just locked that in, We would have been super straight.
Yeah,
we were getting
which is-
royalties on everything.
And you definitely need it now in the day, in the age of AI for sure.
Right.
But like, where did the entrepreneur side come from? When did you like, all right, I'm not going to traditional path, but I need to figure out another avenue, stream of income besides like getting a job. And you're like, all right, this is the moment where you do this, right? Because I remember me, I'm waiting tables, and I'm like, okay, I'm making $1,000 a week, right? I'm doing all right. I got custody of my daughter. Like, this is the most money I ever made. I'm from the South Side of Chicago, so for me to be where I'm at, past the age of 25, I'm actually doing good because most of the people in my neighborhood don't make it past that. So I'm in this stage where I don't need to go any higher because I've already survived the wilderness, the jungle of all of this stuff, but I wanted more. And that's when I started looking into entrepreneurship because I'm like, these people are coming in, tipping me after they ate, and I'm seeing the cars and I'm seeing the suits. And so I'm starting to ask myself, well, what do they do?
Yeah,
you
where
know
the
what I
money
mean?
coming from?
So where the money coming from? And so when you start asking that question and you start following the money, that's where you get all the answers.
Yeah.
So for you, what was that moment where entrepreneurship came into your awareness?
I don't think it was like a true moment, bro. I tried a couple different jobs. I worked at the movie theater, cleaning up, you know what I'm saying, the aisles. I worked at Sprint. I worked at the Gap. I worked at this restaurant, like Italian spot. I just could not stay there longer than like, my longest job was definitely Sprint, but I was in college, you know what I'm saying? So I was just like, I bet I can do this. But even then I knew that I wasn't gonna be there long. And when there were different opportunities for me to do my own thing, like in retrospect, everything that I've done has been an idea. Like no one's like, yo, you should do this, you should do this, you should do this. It's literally was like, oh, you know what? I want to make a basketball league. You know what? Oh, I want to do this clothing company. This dude has a clothing company. Boom, we do this clothing company.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like everything that came into my awareness was more like ideas that I had, and I just wanted to execute on those ideas.
And it's funny because that's you trusting your intuition, your creativity, right? And in school, I feel like they put you in this regiment of like, the only way you can pass this is if I give you this standardized test and the answers, and I'm gonna give you this test hard enough that nobody can even pass it in the first place. And the only way you're seen as good is if you get this letter. So now you're programmed to think this certain way. And Kanye, he made this quote. He says some crazy stuff all the time, but sometimes he says some genius stuff. He says, I'm not trying to be perfect or to be right. Because if you're trying to think of the answer every time somebody asks you a question, then life is a test. And so he said, I'm trusting what my truth is right now, and I'm leaning on that. And so in your in creativity, because you are really creative, bro. Like you just be coming up with concepts and ideas, and we were talking on the phone when I was at the gym the other day. Hey, I'm gonna do this, and I got this podcast, and I'm gonna do this, which we'll get into, but trusting your creativity and your intuition is the number one piece to doing what we do online, because you know, if you copy somebody, it ain't even gonna hit in the first place. So you gotta have a unique piece.
If you put a little spin on it.
That's what I'm getting to though. You gotta put your unique spin on it in order for it to work. But if you just copy it straight out the box, it's not gonna work.
Yeah, because how I feel like all your ideas, so like everyone's ideas have like their own individual DNA imprinted on it. That's your IP. So like you and I so let's say you want to build a car.
Right.
Let's say I want to build a car. They're going to come out different. Because your idea of what's going to go into your car, what you want it to look like, is going to be very different on what I think is going to go into my car.
Right.
And then what it's going to look like. You might want to do an electric joint. I might want to do combustion engine. You know what I'm saying? You might want to do drop top. I might want to do a coupe. You might want to do a truck. I might want to do, a 4-door.
Right.
But it's still gonna be a car, you know what I'm saying? So the fact that we're all individuals and we all have creativity and we're all made in God's image, and literally since we're all made in God's image, we can create. We gotta lean more on that creation.
Yeah, for sure.
And trust more of what's in your mind. Because what you let into your frequency is literally how your mind is going to start creating things. And then when you have these ideas, you can implement it.
Right.
A lot of people lean more on the fear side. So they have an idea, but because they're fearful and they don't trust themselves, it'll never come out.
Right, exactly. So in that creativity, you try multiple businesses and you fail some, and then you end up, as when I hear the word podcast, there's only two people I think of. I think of D-Shans and I think of you, right? Yeah. And so when I think of that, these are people who are very creative, they're consistent, and every time I open up my feed, something from them is coming through. And they kind of creating a movement. And you have started a movement Also. So how did you come up with the concept, or tell me how the genesis of the Podcast to Cash and how to monetize your podcast come about?
So I had a podcast in 2018, right? A friend of mine was like, yo, you're kind of interesting. You should start vlogging. So I was like, all right, cool. So I didn't question him. I didn't look at no camera prices. I was just like, yo, let's just go to Best Buy. So I went to Best Buy. I was like, yo, what's the easiest camera I can get so I could just shoot and learn on? Because I didn't use a camera up until that point. He was like, the Canon M50. This is 2018. I bought it was like $550.
Yes.
Swiped it, got the camera. Now I got a camera. I got a camera. I got the little Joby, you know what I'm saying, the little bendable joint.
Yes, the Think Media package right there. That's what that sounds like to me.
So I feel like I'm cooking, right? So then I start vlogging, you know what I'm saying? I still got some of these videos on YouTube, just what's going on in my day, this, and this. After a while, I don't get discouraged, but I'm not as excited about it, you know? And then I'm still doing real estate at the time. I was a real estate agent. And outside of me filming, I'm asking certain people in real estate that got like a level of cachet, try to get appointments, you know what I'm saying? Try to have conversations. They're all saying no, or they're dodging me. I can't really lock it in. Some told me to just be like, yo, ask them if they would be interested in doing a interview on your YouTube show.
Okay.
As soon as I framed it like that, everybody was like, yeah, I'm available this day, this day, this day. Yeah, I can do this. No one said no.
Right.
So then I just started having conversations with people that I wanted to connect with in real estate that could just be beneficial for my business.
Right.
Because that highlighted them. I was able to kind of get that conversation. We documented it was a win-win-win.
What year was this?
2018.
2018.
So I kept doing that. 2019 I moved from Boston to LA. So I'm still doing a YouTube show.
Okay.
YouTube interviews. When I get to LA, something dawns on me and my paradigm shifted. I was like, oh, I think this is a podcast for some reason. Like I remember driving up Sunset Boulevard and something just hits me like, yo, these interviews is a podcast. So I'm like, all right, bet. So I do my official podcast, what I'm calling a podcast, with a friend of mine who's Yo Gotti's cousin.
Yo Gotti's cousin?
Yeah.
Okay.
And at that time, bro, I got heavy equipment. I got tripods, cameras, lighting, Rodecaster Pro, everything. I'm bringing all this equipment to the hotel to shoot the podcast, and it went well. But then when I realized, I'm like, I'm still doing real estate. I'm still doing these interviews. I'm not necessarily just interviewing people that I want to connect with. I'm interviewing people that I'm interested in learning from and building with. So I'm like, this real estate money is coming too slow.
Real estate money is
Real
slow.
estate money is coming too slow, right? So I'm doing this deal, and the deal takes me 6 months to consummate. The commission is $6,000.
6 months for $6,000.
Yeah, and it wasn't about the $6,000. It was more so about all the work that it took me, because I did deals in between all that.
Right.
But the reason why I did this deal is because it's like you send me a referral, and I'm like, I'm gonna take care of your referral, right? So I do that deal. The deal is together. It falls apart. We get it back together. But all in all, for it to close, it takes 6 months. So I'm driving back 2.5 hours outside of LA, back to LA, and then I said to myself, there's no way I'm doing this again.
Never, ever.
Ain't no way I'm doing this again. So I get back to the house, I immediately quit. No more real estate, no more calls, nothing. And I have my license in California and in Massachusetts. So I just quit. I went immediately into coaching. I got a coach for mindset, and then I was looking for something, but I didn't know what I was looking for. And that's when I found like Nehemiah Davis online.
Neo.
Yep. So a friend of mine invited me to one of Neo's live events. I went to his live event as a free +1, and my mindset shifted because I saw, well, 3 things shifted. One, I saw Myron close over like $3.5 million from stage, 45 minutes. And then Neo was like, one of the reasons why most entrepreneurs are not making money because, you know, they're afraid to double their price. And I just kind of started like selling something online, but the price wasn't crazy. So I just doubled it. And then the third thing was I had a sales call set up for that same afternoon. It was during a break, a lunch break. And I told the dude the new price. And he just took it. I was like, yo, this is crazy. So you telling me it took me 6 months to close this one deal at $6K, but I just made $15K in like 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So my whole thing shifted. I was still doing a podcast, but I started teaching people how to make digital products and stuff. And then something dawned on me. Podcasters don't know how to make money. So that's when I kind of shifted to leveraging podcasting and teaching podcasters how to make money initially. That was how I kind of got into
Right.
that space.
And it's funny because I have been seeing you online and seeing Neo and them online, and then I think it was March or April going to the podcast summit. I'm like, all right, I need to get in the room. So I'm like, all right, bet. And that's where we actually like physically connect and get to chop it up, which was dope.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, getting in the rooms is one of the most important things because it shifts your
facts.
mindset
Yeah.
for two reasons. One is sometimes you kind of just modeling after other people and it starts to work, it kind of clicks. But when you get in the room, you can see the impact that you can make.
Right.
And that's what started me on the journey to connect with you and do more speaking engagements and getting on more podcasts, because I saw one thing. Everybody knew they had something that they wanted to share in that room. And that was beautiful. It was like 3,000 black people in there, all in unity, creative, cameras out, everybody just trying to like, you know, get their message out there or ask somebody what they do. And I realized that there was a couple things that people kept saying when I went to Shan's dinner was, I'm trying to start my podcast. I'm trying to start my podcast. And I'm like, well, why would you be trying to start it instead of just starting it? And I realized that people was lacking certainty, they was lacking clarity, and they was lacking the course of action in order to monetize their podcast. And that's when I was like, okay, I need to get on this bandwagon and really start helping people to create their personal brand. So, and I asked you a question at that podcast too, at the podcast summit. What are the 5 ways that you can monetize your podcast?
So as far as podcast monetization, I like to use what I like to call the foundational 4.
Foundational.
Right. So the foundational 4. These are the reasons why most podcasters are making money, or why, like for instance, I had a conversation with a celebrity, you know, like celebrity influencer like B Simone. I had a conversation with B Simone. B Simone, she monetizes her podcast, but she monetizes it through AdSense and some sponsors.
Like,
That's how most people think. But see, if someone like on the level of her in terms of like popularity, followers, and subscribers, if she implements this system,
right,
she gonna be good. So what the foundation for is, you need digital products.
digital product.
The easiest way for someone to create a digital product is think about what people are asking you for. What's the main thing people come to you for? Like they bang your line, and for you, you disregard it because it's so easy.
Right.
You just be giving it away because it's like it's your gift. You can turn that into a digital product, or you can think about, what are you currently learning right now that you know a little bit. You probably know a little bit more than most people. You can turn that into a digital product.
Okay.
Or you can look at it like this. If you're not having this conversation right now, if we summarize this podcast into the top 10, 15, 20 gems,
Right.
that's a digital product.
Okay.
Right? So you want to make a digital product because you create it one time, you can sell it forever.
Right.
Sell that for $27, $37, $47.
Okay.
So you need a digital product. That's number
Okay,
one.
hold on. So the first thing we need to do is we need to establish what's something that comes easy to you, that's difficult for others, and people keep coming to you
Right.
for the answers.
You can monetize that. Just turn that into a digital asset.
Right. And so ways that you could, because it's like, all right, well, cool, that sounds great, but how can I do that? Well, you can do a free masterclass, right?
Well, no, because a free masterclass will be a step further. I want to make it extremely simple. I'm not saying
even
that.
more simple than that.
I'm not saying they need to now create a masterclass and then sell it.
No. I'm just saying, like, just record yourself on Zoom talking about the thing and breaking it down and then transcribing it and using that and turning that into an ebook or something.
Yeah, you can do that too.
Yeah. So
Right?
just making it super
Or you can
simple.
use the app. You can use the app Otter. Otter, you can speak into the Otter app. It'll create a transcript. You can take that transcript with some prompts, throw it into ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini. It'll make you a digital product.
Bet. So,
You know what I'm saying?
so one is what comes easy to you and difficult to others, and they keep coming to you. Then take that, run it into ChatGPT, transcribe it, and then create a digital product from that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of other ways to create a digital product, but I think that's one of the
Yeah,
fastest.
the fastest and the easiest one is what I like to hit. So
Number
step
two is a paid podcast community. What I like about this is there's always a percentage of your audience that want more, but they can't get more because you don't offer them more.
Okay.
If you just offer them more, they'll take advantage of it. So I'll give you an example. If people, okay, let's say somebody wants to come on a podcast, or maybe it's your podcast. If there's only 50 views or 50 downloads, most people are gonna look past that. They're not gonna value that because for some reason they don't think those are real people, right? But if you consistently got 50 or 100 views on your podcast, downloads, listens, whatever, those are real people. Let's say 10% of that audience, which might be 5 people, actually like you. They really like you. They're looking for the next episode. They liking everything. They comment. They subscribe. This is one of their favorite podcasts. Those people want more access. But they can't get more access because most podcasters don't have another way for them to tap in.
Right.
So that's where you have your paid podcast community. All you have to do is give them more or a high level of experience on top of the show. I kind of liken it to like flying.
Okay.
So if you and I are on a commercial flight, you're in first class and I'm in economy, we're getting there at the same time. But what's your access? You get on the plane first,
Right.
you get off first. You're gonna eat, you're gonna get probably
Snacks
a different
and stuff
menu.
first.
While people still loading and playing,
Right.
you're getting food. You might meet the captain.
I done already took a nap while y'all still trying to get to the back.
Blanket, pillow, headphones. It's a different experience.
Mhm.
You're okay to pay 2x, 3x, or 4x more for that same ticket because of the access.
Right.
It works the same way with a podcast. So if you just take that and you turn it into a paid podcast community, you could charge $29, $39, $49, $99. Just give them more access,
Right.
more exclusivity, and more of a experience.
Okay.
Now that's recurring revenue.
Right.
Number 3 is affiliate marketing, right? So affiliate marketing is a multi-billion-dollar industry. All you got to do is, right now, you got a problem.
Mm.
You got allergies. So if I had an allergy solution right now,
Right.
you would pay me whatever.
I don't care what it is.
You don't care what it is.
I don't care what it
right?
is.
And let's say you found out about my allergy solution, but you found out it from Blaine,
Yes.
right? So you pay Blaine's link to get access to my allergy solution.
Mhm.
So Blaine's gonna get the money in the middle.
Right.
So that's all affiliate marketing is.
Yes.
Right now we're using a camera. We got some mics.
Right.
If you bought this camera and mics that you probably need anyway,
Right.
but you didn't go direct to Amazon,
Right.
you went to Amazon.com/Blaine to buy
Yeah.
the exact same thing,
Right.
he's gonna get a percentage of it. That's
Right.
all affiliate marketing is. What you wanna do is use your platform to feature products and services that have affiliates and you get paid in the middle.
Yeah.
That's what I like to call, you know what I'm saying, the gold in the gap.
Gold in the gaps, yes. And I think that makes sense too, because sometimes people won't even get started because they think they got to create all this
You
stuff.
don't gotta create nothing.
You
The
don't gotta
product's
create
already
nothing.
created. The people already have
The
problems. They
problems.
wake up every single morning with a problem. The solution already exists.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is leverage your platform, feature that solution, and let the people that watch your podcast, stream your podcast, download your podcast, know about the solution to the problem that already exists inside them, and you're gonna get paid.
Yeah.
Now, how I like to look at it, there's high ticket affiliates, there's low ticket affiliates, there's recurring affiliates, right? You can even get high ticket affiliates from entrepreneurs, right? And even still, let's think about what type of podcast you have. What if you have a podcast that's about financial services,
Right.
but you're not in financial services? You can link it with somebody that has a financial services. Maybe he's gonna give you 10%, 20% on every deal,
Right.
right? Or maybe you like to help business owners with structure.
Right.
Maybe somebody provides business owner structures like set up your business. Maybe they implement payroll systems. ADP had a $500 affiliate. So every time somebody gets set up with payroll, they would give you $500.
Mm-hmm.
So you can find the affiliates that make sense and that aligned or adjacent to your platform, right? And then number 4 is the VIP package. This is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
This is how people can make money fast with a podcast, especially if you got a guest-based podcast. Guests come on this show. So the first thing I like to say is, if you were gonna get photos done for your family for an occasion,
Right.
would you pay a photographer?
Of course.
All right, now would you argue with that photographer's price or would you pay that price?
I want the best photographer for the most special moment, without a doubt.
Okay, now let's say the same exact thing, but you need a videographer. Would you pay the videographer?
Of course.
Is the videographer important?
100%.
Okay. Are you gonna revisit those moments, or those moments are gonna be hot for a little bit, and then you're probably gonna forget?
Those are moments you're going to cherish forever, so you want to make sure you capture them the best possible.
100%. But then most people kind of forget about those moments because you don't look at your marriage photo every single day.
Right. It's once a year, you're reminded, and you go back to it, but you're also happy that you do have those moments. Because even for my wedding, we almost didn't do the video package,
Right.
and we're so thankful that we did.
Okay, now let's look at a podcast. A podcast is more valuable than photos. It's more valuable than videos. And it's actually who that individual is, especially if they're a business owner.
Mm-hmm.
Because a picture, it can't really tell me much. Like, I'm gonna come see the picture,
Right.
It's nice, but I'm not getting no value. The value is for you and your wife or what the moment.
Right.
The videography, the video, kind of the same thing because that moment is specific to the people in the video.
Right.
But on a podcast,
Yes.
if I'm a business owner, I get to learn that story.
Right.
I get to learn some background. I get to get a problem solved. I get questions answered that might be FAQs for me.
Okay.
I can take that content, flip it. I can redistribute it. I can use it for my social media. I can use it for a whole rollout if
Right.
I'm doing a campaign. They get to know if they get to know my energy, my frequency. They get to know if I'm really serious, if I
Right.
really want to help people. Am I selfish? Am I selfless?
Right.
They get to know, like, trust me in real time. That's way more valuable for a business owner. So all we're gonna do is treat it just like a photo shoot.
Okay.
Treat it just like a video shoot. Repackage the assets that we're creating in real time and then offer it back to the guests.
So much game, bro. So.
And why would they
much
not
game.
buy that? If they're a true business owner, and I just encapsulated everything in that video, for you to not want those files
Mm-hmm.
that you can release to your social, and you're probably not making content anyway.
Right.
We just did that for you easy.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is take the files. We're gonna have 4 to 8 clips. We can shoot a commercial for you in real time, behind the scene videos. We can do portrait photos. You're gonna have all those. You're gonna have the raw audio, the raw video, the edited audio, the edited video. We just give you the whole content for
Yeah.
it. You can just have at it.
Yeah, that's tough, bro.
You can set up for easy 500 per podcast.
Right. So run me down the core 4 again.
That's just the 4. So we got paid podcast community, digital products, affiliate marketing, and a VIP
And
package.
a VIP package.
Yeah.
So walk me through how you then took it to a whole nother level. You're like, I'm gonna go on tour with this and share this message.
Yeah.
So how did that come about?
So we just talked about how to monetize, but the other side of it is leverage. So when I talk about podcasting, I don't look at it as entertainment. I look at it as a tool that can be leveraged.
Okay.
So when you think about podcasting, and if you're watching right now, when you think about podcasting, I want you to think about podcast is like a hammer. It's a tool, and use a hammer to what? To leverage. So so we was hanging up a portrait. Use a hammer to kind of bang that nail in or whatever.
Right.
You're not gonna use a screwdriver. You can use the right tool for the right
job.
100%. So with a podcast is 100% a tool, so you can leverage who you are as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, as someone that's looking to get the message out there. So when you look at it like that, all you doing is leveraging content assets to connect more with your end user or to grow your brand or your business or create more know, like, trust assets. We're creating digital assets that can be leveraged here. You know what I'm saying? So when I looked at it like that, it just made sense. So sure, I've helped a lot of people make money with podcasting, but that's not my client. My client is the business owner or the entrepreneur who wants to utilize content to leverage the content to grow their brand, right? I call it the CAST method.
Okay.
Client. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna client attract, right? You're gonna grow more authority. You got a system, so it's a client acquisition system that closes high ticket.
Right.
The high ticket is just that product or service that the entrepreneur has. That's all it is.
Bet.
So I'm gonna leverage the digital content to create more cash in my business,
Right.
because it's a client acquisition system. One of my favorite entrepreneurs that does it is Ramsey.
Yeah.
Look at what Ramsey does.
Yeah.
He do a podcast every day for 2 hours. People calling up. He's solving problems in real time, and he's helping them on the back end.
And the thing about it is, it's nothing new. It's just that it shifted from radio to a podcast,
all it is.
and those same listeners tune in every single day.
It's
And that's
the-
what Alex Hormozi doing right now too.
It's
He's doing the same thing.
It's cheat code, bro. And people don't recognize. Podcast people show up 99% of the time for every show.
For sure. Downloads crazy.
Sales calls, you might get 50-60% show rate. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Podcast, everyone's showing up. And if you utilize it how we utilize it, you're gonna get the leads beforehand. So even before that podcast episode, you can start warming them up.
Right.
You might even close the deal before the episode. So
Right.
that's why we use it for leverage.
Right. Okay. That's so dope. And so if you guys think y'all are getting game from this, imagine if you come spend 1 and 2 days on the Podcast to Cast tour where you're learning all of this from the man, the myth, the legend himself, but all the other incredible people that are a part of this movement with the Podcast to Cast tour. So let's talk about the next one.
Yeah.
Why whoever's tuning in this needs to be in the room, what they're gonna learn, what they're gonna get from it, and where it's gonna be.
Yeah, so we got New York, Tampa. We're gonna hit Miami again. We got LA, OC. No, excuse me. We got LA, Oakland, San Diego, Austin, Dallas, and Houston. That's the rest of the stops we're gonna make. And basically, it's a really fire event for a business owner who's looking to learn how to leverage podcasting as a tool so they can get more leads, build their brand, and ultimately get more sales. But it's also beneficial for business owners in general, someone that's just starting or someone that's established, because we're gonna have, Trevor Calais is gonna teach you how to structure your business.
Mhm.
We got Dr. Nestor, who basically performance medicine, so he's teaching anti-aging strategies and health and wellness strategies, so your performance is at the top
Right.
as you're executing as a business owner, a
Mhm.
9-to-5 or entrepreneur.
Right.
And then obviously, I'm sharing the strategies, and we're getting your mind right, because your mind got to be at a certain place if
Facts.
you're looking to execute on certain
All
things.
day long.
So everyone, I mean, we've been getting a lot of really great reviews, and everyone leaving with a lot of game.
Yeah.
So that's really what it's about. And for those that are paying attention, like, you can see what's happening in real time while you're there, because that's the type of person I am. When I go to events, I don't just look at like the information they're giving me. I'm looking at production.
Right.
I'm looking like the rollout. I'm looking at like how everything is being presented to me.
Right. Looking at it from a holistic lens. Yeah.
Right.
So tell people where they can go if they want to get and be a part of this movement.
Listen, if you want to grab a ticket right now, you're watching, you made it this far, head over to podcastandcasttour.com. Use code Brendan, BRENDAN 50. That's 50% off any ticket that you want to take advantage of. And I suggest you grab that diamond ticket, because that diamond ticket is going to give you access to the speakers, meet and greet the day before, and exclusive dinner. You do not want to miss that. That's how you want to come. So use that code, grab that diamond ticket, podcastandcasttour.com. And if you want to check me out, it's Brendan Boyd across all platforms. Please subscribe to that YouTube.
Let's go. So if you're an expert, a coach, or consultant, and you know that you're seeing people online that are less skilled than you making way more money, and you want to get the game, the insights, but more importantly, the transformation, you need to be in the room at the Podcast to Cash Tour in a city near you. So get in the room. Let's go.
Let's get it. Let's go. Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah.
Yep.